aluminum monster.
First, we scaled the plans using a projector. We cut and glued plywood together to make the frame. Then we wrapped the frame in 2mm aluminium sheet. Then we turned the hull over, removed the frame, closed it in, TIG weld everything. After the welds were ground off and polished, we float tested it. Using foam, we made a plug for the canopy. Then we made a fiberglass mold. After the canopy came out of the mold, we added some detail and then clear coated it. Overall, the hull is 1.7 meters long. The stingers were installed on the transom as close to the bottom of the V as possible. In hindsight, it would have been easier to set up and weld the couplings for the flex shaft tubes before the deck was welded to the hull. The same goes for the water pickups, engine mounts, battery trays, ESC holders, and servo mounts for the steering. But with a little effort, we got it done. We mounted the BEC and the radio receiver in a splash-proof container. The steering servo is powered by a 2-cell LiPo. The motors are 1100 kV Leopard 5698s with 240 amp Aquastar water-cooled speed controllers. For the first sea trials in a freshwater pond, we went with what we had and ran 4 1500 4-cell batteries in parallel per side. Sea trials revealed insufficient water flow for the speed controllers, which had some heat in them. At first we thought the props were cavitating. As this seemed to get progressively worse, it must be the dog drive slipping on the shafts. The steering also felt unresponsive. To resolve the cooling issues, 2 12-volt water pumps were added to the cooling system. The shaft dog drives were not only slipping, but one of them had split next to the grub screw, allowing it to loosen almost completely off. To resolve this, I made new dog drives from 12mm stainless steel round bar and used larger diameter grub screws. To be sure, flats were also filed into the shafts for a positive lock. The steering angle was checked. The silicone O-rings did feel a little bit tight. For the next trial, we will add some silicone oil to help lubricate. The second sea trial went very well. With 6000 4-cell, the runtime was about 10 minutes. With the water pumps running from a 1000 3-cell, the motors and ESCs were cool at the end of the run. The new dog drives worked well with no signs of prop slip on the shafts. With no prop slip, it was able to dig out of the hole and plane. With a little lubrication on the rudder push rods, the steering felt responsive and precise. For the third sea trial, the same batteries are reconfigured, 2 in series, 2 in parallel, per side, 3000 8-cell.
Looking good.
Speed's gone up, man. It's bloody good.
Mostly everything went well. Speed was increased as expected, runtime was reduced to about 3 minutes, the ESCs and motors were still cool at the end of the run. To boost the capacity, we have another 8 1500 4-cell batteries on the way. With more power, the flex shaft speed was increased, creating more friction that caused the Teflon liners to fail. To fix this problem, we plan on fitting bearings at the top of the shaft tubes. Once the bearings and batteries are taken care of, we'll be out for more sea trials. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe.